Dalton, this is our most anticipated video of the offseason. Our producer, Eli Nagel, does not have a college football team. In fact, he wasn't even a college football fan, really, until he was forced to work on the show with us.
Yeah, it's really our fault.
So he doesn't have a team because he went to Wright State, Eli, right? And you don't have a team because they don't play football at Wright State. Is that correct?
Yes. Wright State is definitely a basketball school. Both of my parents did not go to college, so I don't have a kind of family ties, alma mater, anything like that. And Wright State never really had one, so I just never really picked one. I've always been an NFL fan, but since working on the show, it's been a ton of fun. So I'm like, I got to kind of get in on the action. So
you do.
And absolutely. So, honestly, I came up the same way until I went to FAU. I never had, coming up, born through 18. No, I didn't. Upstate New York, it just wasn't that big a thing for us.
At least I went to Syracuse, but at least I have Penn State to fall back on. You're just rooting for that, which, God bless you, man. This, I'm like, okay, I have to root for. But Penn State is at least fun to root for until they play Ohio State and Michigan every year. But man, that's brutal. Eli, all right. So what you guys don't know this video is already, obviously. But what we're gonna do here, we each have 3 teams. We're pitching to Eli to pick for his team for this season and beyond. So he's going to be full-fledged a member of this fan base from here on out.
This is permanent. He may even get a tattoo to go with it.
Actually, that is a requirement, Eli.
Yeah, I'm actually getting one right on my forehead.
Okay, perfect. So what we're going to do here, we're going to pitch 9 of these schools, not Syracuse and not FAU, because we don't want him suffering like we do with those 2 schools. We're going to pitch these 9. He's going to pick one from each of our groups. And Eli's is the middle one right there. So he's going to pick one from each of our groups. He's not going to pick who he's rooting for in this video. He will do it in a future video, I believe next week or whenever this drops. Will be very soon. But he'll ultimately have a hat, the 3 hats, and then he'll pick his final score, and I'm so excited for this. So what we're going to do here, Dalton, is pitch each of these schools. At the end of this video, he'll pick the final 3 as kind of like as a 5-star, recruit. Going to have his commitment video, all that. So we're excited about that. But Dalton, I'll let you start off with your first school that you want to pitch to Eli here.
I'll pitch. I'll stay on the end here first, and I'll go with the Florida State Seminoles. And listen, living down at least in the Tampa area, close enough to it. It's not that close, still 4 or 5 hours away. But I know a lot of Florida State fans, and it's a whole lot of fun. Eli, and there's a long tradition of winning, man. I mean, you look at what Bobby Bowden built from the late 70s all the way through the 2000s. Jimbo Fisher continued, and now Mike Norvell's continuing it even further. They just went undefeated in the regular season. I mean, look, they've got a winning tradition. There's not a lot of things more exciting than Chief Osceola going to plant the Spirit midfield at all their home games. They got a ton of great rivalries. The Florida game every year is a really good time, whichever stadium they're in. And they're going to look, they may even get out of the ACC pretty soon. They're talking about trying to get into one of the other conferences. You may see even if some contractual things can get bent, you may see them in the SEC one day. That would be more fun than anything. But they've got a great coach. They've got a winning tradition. They've got a great stadium. And they're just, I mean, it's fun to root for them, honestly. I know way too many people. You met my best friend yesterday. He's a huge Florida State fan. I mean, it's a team. You want a team that those people down in Tallahassee get obsessed about. It's Florida State. I think that should be one on your list.
Eli, you have any questions about the Seminoles right now? Why you should, anything else you want to know about them? Or is that
No, I don't think so. Pitch? Florida State, I mean, even though I don't watch with a rooting interest, I've definitely watched a fair share of Florida State games. They're in a lot of big games often. I mean, especially after last year, Max was probably the biggest Florida State homer for not an actual fan in all of media.
That's a negative. If you go undefeated, you're not making the college football playoff.
I know. That is the only bad side.
So, I mean, they changed it. Look, they're so important that they bent the rules just for them. Think about that.
Yeah.
True. Think about that.
Very true.
Okay.
If it wasn't for Florida State, we may not have a 12-team playoff. Pay your dues.
I think Florida State's a good one. I think Florida State's a really good one. They're a fun team to root for. I'll start off with the Oregon Ducks. I think this one pretty much explains it. Now, I want to say as well, Eli's not just jumping on a Georgia or Ohio State bandwagon. This is as close to it as you could possibly get before going overboard with it. So we're pitching Oregon here, Eli. Oregon, Dan Lanning is the effing man, dude. He is the man. I don't think there's a single coach in college football I love more than Dan Lanning, man. I think the video of him when Alabama job opened up, we were like, oh, Lanning is taking that job easily. He's been waiting for that job to open up. And that video when it came out where he's like, man, they say the grass is greener elsewhere. Grass is plenty green here in Eugene, man. I was like, hell yeah, dude. This guy is the man. He brings in a great recruiting class every year. He brings in great transfers every year. They're a top 3 team in the country right now, and don't think we be a top 3 team in the country probably every single year. So I think if you want to jump on a bandwagon, Eli, that's going to compete for national titles out of any of these schools, consistently every single year, I think it's Oregon. Get the elite uniforms as well. And Phil Knight, getting up there in age, he is funneling money into that program because he is desperate to see an Oregon national title before he passes away. So I think Oregon, Eli, it's right on the border of being too good to pick, but I think you're safe for right now. And I think Oregon, with all the uniforms and Dan Lanning and all the talent they bring in every single year, Oregon for me is like the pretty clear team for at least out of my three right now.
Yeah, I like Oregon. Oregon's a lot of fun. The only bad side is, I will say, I read Phil Knight's memoir, and it took me 3 years to finish. That is the most boring book I've ever read in human history. So that is starting behind the 8 ball, but like you said, amazing jerseys.
Think about how hot you look in an Oregon jersey, though, man.
What if he's an Under Armour guy, though?
Yeah,
No,
see,
you can't be an Under Armour
what if
guy.
I'm a big like Reebok man?
No, you can't be a Reebok guy. And then we wouldn't pitch any school.
Now you're pitching the entire brand to him. Now.
Yeah, I'm pitching Nike. This is a Nike school right here. This is Nike. I'm pitching Nike to you, basically. Eli,
That's a
here.
strong case. It's a strong case.
This is the one you should pick ultimately, I think. But we'll get into some other ones. But Dalton, actually, no, Eli, you go with your first. This is weird. Eli's pitching to himself here.
I know, but it's more of it's giving you guys my thought process.
Okay,
where we're going through.
I do. All right, so you pick whichever one of these schools you want to start off with.
So we'll start with Vatech because Vatech is a newer one for me. Obviously, I've heard of Enter Sandman pretty much being the GOAT entrance in college football, pretty much is what everybody says. And big ups to Dave Solfara. He's been a big proponent of this. I mean, they've got drones. You have history with Mike Vick, which would be an amazing jersey to rock.
Amazing jersey,
get a little
to rock.
throwback.
Yeah.
So Vatech is definitely one there. I think they're a fun team to do. I used to watch them a lot with college basketball with Buzz when he was back there. So pretty familiar with the program. So they were just a kind of a fun one, a little under the radar one I wanted to pitch.
I like that. We should pitch. Is there a jersey like of an old player who would be a great one to rock? I think Vatech Mike Vick might be the best one out of all 9 of these.
Florida State's got so many, man. They've got
Even Mike Vick is like that's the coolest jersey.
It's got to be Dion, right?
Dion probably the coolest jersey.
It's probably got to be Dion.
Oregon's got to be Mariota.
Mariota's that's a.
You can find an old Dan Fouch jersey. I don't know. If
Oh, who's Joey Harrington, right? You could do a Joey that could be a fun one.
You could, yeah, maybe. Or you just find like some fun one, like
D'Anthony Thomas.
That'd
Be
like,
D'Anthony Thomas.
Or maybe
that's the one.
Who's the most college player of
Yes,
these? Like
yes.
if I was
D'Anthony
at Florida
Thomas.
State, I'd be like, dude, Peter Warwick.
Yeah, Peter Warwick.
Peter Warwick would be good. Bengal legend.
Right.
Who is I'm blanking? Oh, Charlie Ward, the guy who played for the Knicks after winning the Heisman.
Oh yeah,
Like,
that's a good
dude
one,
won
yeah.
the Heisman Trophy and then was like, no, I'm going to play in the NBA. Like he's the man. Like that's the coolest thing ever. So I like Vatech though. Enter Sandman's a great call.
Like
too.
2 weeks ago, I was at Soldier Field for 2 nights of Metallica.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, that's expected. You're pitching.
Exactly.
Sorry, you didn't pitch Vatech then.
They were one I thought about.
Yeah. All right, Dalton, go to your next school here. I don't even know why you're pitching this school. I don't know. He's not going to pick.
You know what? It's Max. It's a really hidden away, really good atmosphere, and a team that consistently wins a lot, and that's the Kansas State Wildcats. I had somebody tell me that Bill Snyder Stadium or Bill Snyder Field, down there in Manhattan in Kansas. I have a good friend of mine that goes to Kansas State, and he says there was some article or some poll done that Kansas State actually is the 3rd best stadium experience in the country for college football stadiums. Look. They do it their way, and forever it was Bill Snyder, and now it's Chris Kleiman, and they're doing a great job down there. Again, another consistent winner in a Big 12 where, look, it's kind of open. I know we all picked Arizona, but Kansas State very much is in contention for the Big 12 title every year. Maybe one of the biggest beneficiaries of a 12-team playoff. And let's just be real, they're just fun to watch, aren't they? They play this kind of modern but like old school-ish physical brand of football. If you like running the ball and things like that, they've got a long history. Colin Klein, like back in those days, and now he just left to be the OC at Texas A&M. But you've got Avery Johnson, who's up and coming. They always play good defense. They're really fundamentally sound. They get NFL-level talent. Got 2 really good backs there now in DJ Giddens and Dylan Edwards. But I think long-term, the one thing you don't have to worry about is K-State crashing. Like, you want consistency. You want a fun time down there in Manhattan and Kansas. That's a loyal group of fans. It's a really good winner in the Big 12 every single year. Even if they don't win the title every year, they're always in that top 3 or 4. And honestly, Oregon's all glitz and glamour, Eli. Like it's all glitz and glamour, and I get that they've been around a long time, but
glitz and glamour. This is the school that says fight for clicks, we fight for wins. That's what Dan Lanning said in the Colorado game.
But they still had to put it on video just to prove
That's
it.
great though. I love we're a podcast on.
If you want a blue collar team to root for, it's Kansas State. Eli, stick to your roots. You don't have to go for all the money, all the NIL money all the time.
What do you think, Eli?
No, I like that. I like that. You know, they're real. Get your hands dirty. They're not. We're running the ball at Kansas State.
What a Colin Klein jersey would it be? Darren Sproles would be a good one.
Darren Sproles would be kind of good.
Is there
Deuce Vaughn? You could do Deuce Vaughn. It's recent, but Deuce Vaughn was.
If you like
Beebe.
5'5" running backs, you pick Kansas State.
Dude, actually, I think the answer is Cooper Beebe for the jersey.
It's got to be.
Just for all the blue collar, like you rock. He's also our boy too.
Exactly.
We
friend of the program.
Friend of the program.
Since the PWO days. Yeah.
He and his dad constantly is like retweeting my tweets too. So
Tom Beebe,
Tom Beebe, the man. Also, he's snapping to his mom. You see that video of him snapping to his mom practicing out there a couple weeks ago?
Oh yeah, I did see that.
That was cool.
He's switching. At least for now, he looks like he's switching to center.
Yes, he's playing center.
In that competition for the Cowboys.
I think he's playing center. So. That's the most blue collar of blue collar right there. So I like that. I don't hate it. Eli, I think there's better options out there, but that's a decent pitch. So I will next pitch the Ole Miss Rebels, which is kind of the same as Oregon in a lot of ways. In that, like Lane Kiffin, Lane Kiffin as an FAU alum,
address him properly. FAU legend.
Legend Lane Kiffin. But dude, I mean, like Dan Lanning's the man. Lane Kiffin's the freaking man too, man. Like he is the coolest. The one issue I know I'm starting off with an issue I have with Ole Miss, which is not great. But if Lane leaves, then what? That's the only thing I'm like, okay, while Lane's there, they're really awesome to root for.
What if he doesn't leave? Maybe he just found the teams with the right colors
that
he needs to be coaching for.
I know when that Auburn job opened up a couple years ago, he was very close to taking it, I believe, at least. So I don't know. I'm worried if he's going to take a bigger job. But as of right now, they have great uniforms, great helmet. Really, they're killing the portal. And I think they're a top 5 team in the country right now because of it. Again, they're on the border of being too good to pick, but not yet. I mean, they're not like a top 5 team yet, as they've proven so far. So I think Lane Kiffin with that high-flying offense, man, and just how funny he is. He's Eli constantly online. He's chronically online. Another great thing. You have your head coaches taking shots at other coaches on Twitter, which is awesome. You never see Chris Kleiman do that, honestly. So
no, they don't do that down there in Manhattan.
I don't think they have Twitter down in Manhattan. But so yeah, I think Ole Miss just for a lot of reasons. The how sexy the uniforms are. You got Lane Kiffin, who might be the coolest coach in the country, the funniest coach at least in the country. I think Ole Miss is a really good bet too.
Yeah, Ole Miss is definitely a fun one. The Rebels, you get a Michael Orr jersey, throw it back to the blind side. One of the GOAT football movies.
That'd be a great jersey. Great
it
call.
would be.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, they've had some good ones over the years.
Who's the edge that went there?
Kim Diche?
No, that'd be a great college jersey, though. No, it was actually a really
be.
good player that went there, though. I'm trying to think of who. I'm blanking. But
Jackson Dart, also really fun to root for.
Yeah, he's like a villain, man. You see, like he just looks like a guy you would.
Maybe now's your moment to get a Quinshon jersey.
Like a Disney villaon. He looks like, honestly, out there. So I like it, man.
What do you think about a Quinshon jersey? Right,
that'd be hot. Yeah, that'd be hot too.
I could probably get it on discount too.
You probably could. Yeah. So I think Ole Miss is a pretty good one. So Eli, pitch us one of your 3 teams now.
The next one I will go with is Arizona Wildcats. I think that's a lot of fun. Party school, obviously. But, I mean, I'm not sure if there's a team we've all been as unified on as the Arizona Wildcats. I mean, Noah Fafita, Tetsuo McMillan, they're going to be a ton of fun to watch this year. Already have a lot on the line when it comes to monetarily because a lot of bets on them. I think we're all kind of drinking the Kool-Aid with them. So I think they're just a fun team to root for. You've got Gronk as an alum. You've got a lot of fun basketball guys as well. You got like Richard Jefferson back in the day. Could rock a few of those.
Well, you're a Duke fan though.
I'm a Duke fan.
You're only adopting the football team, right?
It'd still be just the football team, but would be fun to get like a Richard Jefferson jersey in the rotation.
That could be good,
dude. RJ, I'm a Nets fan too. Back when RJ came up in Jersey in those 2 finals back in the day with Jason Kidd, that was it. I love RJ.
Yeah. Okay. The only thing I'm worried about is like post Fafita McMillan. What are they gonna look like?
I would agree. That is definitely the big.
You find out. You watch all the high school recruits. You figure.
They're not recruiting well, is what I'm saying. I don't think they're recruiting that great yet. So I like Arizona though. I think it's a fun one. Yeah, we are really drinking the Kool-Aid. If Arizona's not good this year, we're screwed as a show.
I'm going to be out a lot.
We lost all credibility as a show.
Them in Missouri, I think we rode harder than anybody last year.
Missouri last year, Arizona this year. Yeah, that is. And school I'm about to pitch after this is these are schools that I actually went on a podcast on just because of how in we were on Arizona. They're like, how are you in on this team? We have to talk about this. And I was like, all right, sure. So I hopped on a pod and did it. But all right, I like Arizona though. It's not a bad one. So Dalton, your final team here. And Eli, just spoil it. This is the team I think ultimately you probably should pick. Honestly.
Oh wow! Out of all of them, or
Out of
just? Oh, wow.
Out of this is the most. When you pitch this, it's like I don't know how I didn't think.
I
about
almost
this.
just need him to sell it for me.
No, go ahead.
But look, another one. They've got multiple national titles. They're always good. They've got superstar talent in the NFL and still in college. What's better than a game at Death Valley at night, too?
And on the Bengals, too.
And I was just getting there. And if nothing, there's a ton of great stuff. Also, you're like 80 or 90 miles from my favorite town in New Orleans down there. You can go to Mardi Gras with me every year if you want to.
Ooh.
Look.
Yeah, good call.
But above all those other things, proximity to New Orleans, Death Valley, night games, rivalries like crazy, Bama, LSU, LSU, Florida, all the great games they play every single year, you owe them as a Bengals fan.
Massive Bengals fan.
You
Massive
owe them. The
Bengals
only
fan.
Bengals Super Bowl appearance you've seen in your life is because of Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, and we all know it.
And Tyler Shelvin. Thank you very much.
Shelvin,
And good call on Tyler Shelvin. That's the jersey. He needs a Tyler Shelvin jersey.
Arguably the most iconic Bengals picture of all time is Joe Burrow being hoisted up by Tyler Shelvin
right.
going to the Super Bowl.
That's right.
Absolutely. For all of that alone, you owe them. And honestly, let's be real. Wouldn't it make sense that you root for the Bengals and the Bayou Bengals?
Yeah, I mean, that is definitely super strong pitch.
Is there a better headline than that right there?
And he goes to a lot of Bengals games. At every Bengals game, he could wear a Burrow or Chase jersey at LSU.
And you'd fit
Exactly.
right in.
And you'd fit in with the Bengals crowd.
Without question.
That's
Nobody in that stadium would question it. They'd be like, "Oh, this guy knows ball." He's down to the roots.
Those are the true fans that wear college jerseys of the NFL stars of their team. Those are the best fans. I love those.
Oh yeah,
those are my favorite jerseys.
See, I love the Burrow one where it's EAUX.
You got to get
like
the EAUX.
Cajun
You
Burrow
do have to
one.
get
That's
the
like my favorite
EAUX.
thing ever.
Also, they're always good, man. They're never going to be irrelevant. Never irrelevant.
Oh yeah.
So, and the
and a recent Heisman Trophy winner as well.
and Eli Neck.
I mean, and calling Baton Rouge. That's definitely not your two's cup of tea, but calling Baton Rouge, Garth Brooks, is like their real anthem.
You get to
I don't know what that is.
you get to sing Neck. You know Neck, right, Dalton?
No, I have no idea.
Oh, you know Neck.
I really don't.
Eli knows Neck.
And next,
Next, we can't do it on these airwaves.
I went to Metallica 2 weeks ago. I have no idea what
It's
you're
a
talking about.
chant that the student section does every game that is explicit, but they sing it every game, and it's electric. So
Well, that sounds like Eli's story.
yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can sing
okay,
Neck,
that makes
which
sense.
is and we have to go to LSU.
He's very explicit with us behind the scenes.
dude, and yeah, yes.
I don't know what you're talking about. On to the Miami Hurricanes.
Speaking of explicit, the Miami Hurricanes, man. You want to talk about the 01 Miami team, dude? The bad boys of Miami. The U, man. I know it's been a rough, last 20 years or so, but I think they're starting to build it back up now. The transfer portal's been very kind to them. We have them. I have them at least. Winning the ACC, you have them making the playoff. I think Miami's starting to come back a little bit, and I think jumping on, you could have, if we did this a few years ago, it would have been smart to jump on the Texas bandwagon and be like, okay, they're going to be back at some point, and then at that point, it'll be a lot of fun like they are right now. Miami, I think, is the next one like that, where it's like they've been not back for a long time. They've been the ridicule of jokes for a long time, but when they get back, it's going to be electric. And I think they're starting to hit that point right now. So I'm going with Miami as my final team here. You get, obviously, Eli, if you want to travel down to a game, you got the nightclubs in Miami as well. You got a lot of fun down there in Miami, in South Beach. So I think Miami's my last pick here as my one of the teams I'm pitching here.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys can't see me obviously right now, but I'm a huge nightclub aficionado.
Yep.
It's kind of my scene.
I know. I know.
Yeah,
We've
definitely
hit the
a
bars
club
a few
guy.
times. We've hit the bars a few times, Eli.
Bars. I wouldn't say I'm a clubber. Definitely a dive bar kind of guy. I think that gives us more in the realm of maybe Ole
Kansas
Miss
State.
or LSU. I bet you Kansas State has some awesome dive bars.
Yeah.
I need to go back down there at some point.
I think it's dude. Yeah, the more I think about it, all right, we'll get into it at the end. But that LSU pick, it just fits perfectly. But all right, Eli. So that's my pick for Miami. I think out of the three here, I would say Miami's the last one I would pick. But it's your pick, obviously.
He's got to run through Tennessee as well.
He's got to run through. Yeah, so
course.
Go through your fine. This one's actually. Imagine Eli wearing Tennessee orange. He could rock that, dude.
The last one is fun. Tennessee. I mean, you've got Rocky Top, which is maybe in and of its own enough to sell me. You have Heupel, who always has a fun offense. I mean, definitely a tough transition to the NFL, but they're always effective in college, always a ton of fun. You've got the Josh Dobbs of the world. You have
Great
the legends
jersey.
of Peyton Manning.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, you have James Pierce Jr. to root for this year. You have an exciting quarterback in Nico. I mean, it's hard to say what would be not good about rooting for Tennessee.
And they're recruiting their ass off right now. They're bringing like top 5 classes every year.
Yeah, Nico.
So this is another one where it's like, yeah, jump on the bandwagon now. And also Eli even said that Tennessee orange might be the best color in college football.
It might be the best color in college sports.
Yeah, I think it might be.
It's that and Carolina blue are the ones I think of. And
my alma mater, Syracuse orange. Like, this orange sucks compared to Tennessee orange.
I mean, they named it after the orange. I don't think you could say that.
It's not great. I mean, I would take that orange any day of the week, man. And I have some friends that have Tennessee connections, so they're constantly wearing Tennessee stuff. And I could tell you, everyone pulls off
100,000 people wearing that orange is pretty daunting.
Dude,
and they checker the stadium.
Checker Stadium, and like, dude, anyone, I'm telling you, literally anyone could pull off the Tennessee orange. Like, every time someone's wearing that orange, I'm like, you look great. You look fantastic. So yeah, that color might be my biggest selling point for that school. I love that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But we'll run through it one more time.
Yes.
And I'll give my my final 3.
Okay, and we'll remove the helmets as he does it. All right, so my final 3, at least my 3 I'm pitching to him, is Oregon, Ole Miss, and Miami are my 3 schools that I'm pitching to Eli. What are your 3 schools?
Mine are LSU, Kansas State, Florida State.
And FAU.
And FAU.
I'll pitch FAU on the side. We don't need that on air.
And then my teams that I am bringing to the table are Arizona, Virginia Tech, and Tennessee.
Love that. FAU, Trey Hendrickson jersey.
Trey Hendrickson, great jersey. Devin Singletary.
True.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Bengals connection, though. Like, Trey Hendrickson.
The only college football stadium in the country where you can see the beach from it.
Yeah.
I mean, what's not to love about that?
I don't know if you're a beach guy. I believe it's about, I think it's
Big
something like
beach
1.8 miles. If you're up in the press box, you can see the beach.
Syracuse, Jim Brown jersey. You know?
Yeah. I don't have a Jim Brown.
It's not great.
Yep. Let's move on.
We'll skip him. All right. Yeah, not a lot.
That to a Bengals fan. That's
and other reasons, but yeah. Okay, but all right, Eli. So you're gonna pitch? Well, let's start off with. You want to start? We'll go with Dalton, and then yours, and then mine at the end, because I'm very curious what you're gonna do for my.
Yeah. So we'll start with Dalton.
Eliminate them before you pick one. Dude, I think it'd be better.
I will say this. I think my Dalton pick is going to be a shocker. The first elimination is going to be LSU. I already have a semi-soft spot for them, and I think they would be a ton of fun to root for. I think I think they're almost too good in this sense. Coming off some natties recently, Heisman winners. They have 2 of the last 5. Jaden and Burrow.
5.
So I'm going to eliminate LSU, and then that brings me down to Florida State and Kansas State.
Hold on, Eli. Are you sure?
I'm sure. I'm confident in my final 3 here.
That was my favorite to win it all. I thought LSU was. Okay.
Hopefully you didn't bet on it.
I did bet on it.
Oh boy. Yeah,
and the second elimination, even though I appreciate the deep pull with Kansas State, I will be putting them to the side. And Florida State has made the finals of my selection.
I love that. The K-State one was
I respected it.
I respect it. I did respect. Yeah. And I hate the K-State faithful that are watching our show right now. I respect.
Yeah,
you guys
they're not gonna love me for that, but you know, I'll always respect our moment that we had there for about 2.5 minutes.
Dalton pitching, it's just blue collar. It was basically the whole pitch there. I love it. Dude,
it was great.
I cannot freaking believe LSU's not your final 3. Oh my god.
So moving on to my 3.
Okay.
I'm going to eliminate the Arizona Wildcats. I think the points are brought up are very valid. I think once Fafita and Tetsuo leave, what's the realistic plan for the future? The recruiting there is probably a little bit questionable. And then that leaves me with my 2, with Virginia Tech or Tennessee. And while both schools have electric songs that are basically the lifeblood of their fan base, I'm going to have to eliminate Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with Rocky Top as the finalist from my 3.
Okay.
I think they're a lot of fun. Like you said, they're recruiting really well of late.
Yep.
And I think there's just a lot of fun, especially with the orange. And then moving on to Max's, the final 3, I'm going to start by eliminating the Hurricanes. I think you're right. I think with calling your shot on having a Texas-like run where you're getting on pretty early from the bandwagon. I think they are a very fun pick, but like you said, they haven't really been relevant since the U, which would have been super fun to kind of get some of those throwbacks, maybe a Jeremy Shockey jersey,
Jeremy Shockey,
Ray Lewis.
Cool. Yeah,
Ray
Lewis,
Clinton
Ed Reed,
Portis.
Ed Reed,
Reed,
Portis,
yeah.
Will Spaghetti,
Clinton Portis, yeah. They have probably the most electric backlog
Throwback jerseys,
of throwback jerseys for sure. And then that leaves me with Ole Miss and Oregon. And in the nature of this, I would like to keep one from the conferences. So I'm going to take out Ole Miss to leave Oregon, Tennessee, and Florida State as my final 3 schools.
The only one I'm shocked by, I was kind of expecting. I think I was expecting Oregon and Tennessee. I was thought it'd be Oregon, Tennessee, and LSU. I thought we were gonna be final 3. But
My goal was to try to keep one from the big conferences. So since Tennessee to me gave me a little bit more juice than I think LSU did.
Yep.
And I think Florida State's just a really fun kind of team to go with.
Yeah, it's fun. I agree with that. Wow.
All I learned is he hates the Big 12.
That's true. You do hate the Big 12, Eli. So
I will love the Big 12 if Arizona wins it.
So final schools here: Oregon, Tennessee, Florida State, and then of course Syracuse and FAU are still on the table as well. If you wanted to pick those
Always,
two.
they're always on the table, just for you.
For sure.
All right, so let us know in the comments below what schools should have been pitched to Eli, and what school Eli should pick out of these 3. And Eli, when are we doing? Do you know when we're gonna? Whenever you get the hats, I guess.
I will have the hats and I will record the video. My goal will be some point next week so we can lump it in the back of a video or something, so that way people can still see. I'm gonna end up tweeting it out, just so that way it's kind of out there and I can find some pods to follow.
Post week 1, then probably. Right.
Probably, unless the shipping's really good on these.
Okay, we'll see.
If the shipping's quick, it might be next week.
It's all about logistics.
We'll hit up Phil Knight and he'll get some hats quickly. And these are all Nike schools, right?
There we go.
If Phil Knight sends him a hat, you know he's paying.
Yeah, you got to pick.
I mean, if any of these schools send merchandise, I mean,
we should tag all these schools and see what happens. That could be fun. Maybe
now
something.
whatever team gets the merch here first.
Maybe something happens there. We'll see.
I'm shocked it wasn't Hilltoppers, honestly. I thought you were going to, Max, after you sent me some Hilltoppers hat.
It can't be a group of 5. I love the Hilltoppers, but you can't be the group of 5. You can't do that to
Yeah, that's also fair.
Thanks.
Thanks
a lot.
Yeah, you can't be like Dalton. That's the last thing you want to be like. But all right, those are our picks to Eli, and of course Oregon, Tennessee, Florida State. Those were his final 3 schools that he will determine who he will be joining the fan base of for this season and beyond. Again, let us know in the comments below who you think he should be picking for the 2024 season and beyond for our producer Eli.